four, three, two, one. No, I'm joking. I gotta stop doing that before y'all think that's the real intro. But that's actually I like the way that looks on the TV. But welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I apologize to the viewers. We were supposed to start this stream at 6:30 Eastern time. It is now 7:10 Eastern time. We will adjust accordingly. I was able to get on right at 7, and we had some difficulties on the set. No, I'm joking. Uh, but I think we'll adjust for future streams. This is the first of its kind, so please bear with me. We will adjust the schedule accordingly. It's looking like Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is when we're going to do these types of episodes. So be sure to tune in next week at 7 o'clock on the dot. You could get here at 6:59. I will be on time. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, time. So I'll be sure to respect you guys' time as well. I want to thank all the viewers, all the community members, all the chat. We're growing. Little by little we're growing. So shout out to all y'all. We don't have fans over here. We have community members, right? That's not how we operate. Yeah, so this is an interactive community, so feel free to engage, feel free to talk to each other, you know, drop comments, let's start the conversation, let's have a dialogue. And just like that, we're going to get right into it. What's good, y'all? It's Javinci. We live on Wave Runners TV, and today on Tuesday, July 28th at 7:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's the first episode of the ATL Sports Update. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For those of y'all that are new, welcome in. For those of y'all that have been here, thank you for your continued support. We really appreciate it. Um, as far as special shout outs go, I want to shout out Ryan Livingston in, I want to say Gainesville, close to Gainesville, Georgia. Yep. Shout out to Ryan Livingston, fellow diehard Falcons fan, Atlanta Braves fan, almost everything Atlanta fan. He's waiting on the Hawks to do something big. I know it. But shout out to you, Ryan. You've been with us every step of the way, and you're heavily involved in some of the behind the scenes conversations. So it's good to see us finally out here getting this done, right? That's a special shout out. I would also like to shout out the Atlanta Falcons. Football season is upon us. It's time to put some belt to them boys in the NFC South. But without further ado, I could run my mouth all day. Y'all are gonna listen to me run my mouth for like an hour or so. So let's put some cool stuff on the screen. All right. If I could figure out how to work this thing. One moment, please. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. All right. So this is what we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with the Atlanta Braves because they're doing some really big things in the MLB this season. I gotta get the tomahawk chop sound. Um, if we can get this video to, let's say, 50 views. If we can get this video to 50 views before the next stream, I'm gonna have a tomahawk chop sound. I'm gonna have the Falcons thing, and then I'm gonna have the Atlanta Hawks. I'm gonna have that, but I'm gonna have Shaq doing it. We're gonna get some new sounds in here, so let's make it interesting, guys. Um, we do features. If you want to be a guest, just reach out to WaveRunnersLLC at gmail.com, and we'll talk about getting you on here so you could share your 2 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents. try to make a dollar out of it. But let's go ahead and get started. Atlanta Braves, top stories. They're due to play the Mets, but it looks like there was a rain delay on a doubleheader. Let's see if they're playing yet. It is still postponed and looks like it's 0-0. So that's it for the Braves Mets. We'll try to get a scoring update uh, throughout the stream if we can. What else? Okay, as of yesterday, the Braves have activated Ronald Acuna Jr. after a 38 game absence. Shout out to Ronald Acuna Jr. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, sir. All right, what else do we have here? Not much. Not much else. The thing that kind of got me intrigued on the Braves is I was talking to one of my buddies in LA. Shout out to Tokyo on the West Coast. He told me that the Braves were number four, and he just said number four. And I asked him. I said, "Is it in the NL or maybe that was my boy Henny? I think it was Henny." And I asked him. I said, "Are the Braves number four in the NL or the ALCS, American League, or the National League?" I know a little bit about baseball. I'm still fairly new. Bear with me. Yeah. But he was like, I think they're number four in the MLB. So let's go ahead and fact check that. Let's go standings. I know there's two divisions, so it's kind of hard to say who's number four overall. But let's just look at the records. And I know the Braves are in the National League, but let's just see what's going on in the American League first. The Tampa Bay Rays. I always love when the Braves play the Rays. Those games used to come on TBS or Peachtree TV when I was a kid growing up. They played all the time. So, yeah, I would say the Tampa Bay Rays are like our uh, cross league rivals. I don't know. You tell me. Tampa Bay Rays are 62 and 43, and it looks like they're the best team in the American League. Next, we have the Yankees, 60 and 46, and nobody's close after that. The next closest team is the Red Sox at 55 and 50. White Sox are also 55 and 50. The Cleveland Guardians are at 55 and 53, which is interesting. Texas Rangers are 54 and 52, and the Astros are 53 and 55. Athletics are doing what they're supposed to do. The Royals are hot garbage. I heard about that blowout game they had a few weeks, if not a month or so ago. Crazy work. Now let's head over to the best league, the National League. The Atlanta Braves are 62 and 44. Milwaukee Brewers coming in at 66 and 40. You'd think that, like, as soon as I read the Braves, best team in baseball, nope, Brewers, best team in baseball. But then you have the LA Dodgers at 67 and 39. This is crazy. Crazy. 67 and 39. So it looks like the National League is the better conference in the MLB right now. Um, and if we want to go straight off of record, the Dodgers are number one, the Brewers are number two, 62 and 44. Let's double check here, 62 and 43. So the Tampa Bay Rays are, we'll give them a number three spot, and the Braves are number four. So let's see. The Mets are pretty garbage. It's 45 and 62. They're in a similar state to the Kansas City Royals, but then, the Rockies forever trying to see how long they can sustain being the worst team in the MLB. They're at 42 and 65. So, even with the rain delay and Ronald Acuna Jr. coming back today, I think the Atlanta Braves should be able to beat the Mets and take that number three spot in the MLB. I don't really like to use that type of ranking, so we'll just say that we've solidified the number one spot in the National League. Um, and we're the third best team in the National League. Excuse me. We've solidified the number one spot in the National League East, and then we're the third best team in the National League overall. I think that's pretty good, and we're making for a pretty interesting postseason. So that's it on the Braves news. We'll keep you updated on the score with the Mets when that game starts. Next, we're going to go over to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, for those of y'all that know, the Atlanta Hawks were eliminated in the first round to the reigning NBA champions, the New York Knicks. Um, and it seems like we were one of the only teams to beat the Knicks in the postseason. So say what you want, right? But we beat the NBA champions 2 times in the postseason when the next best thing was Wembenyama and the Spurs, who beat them once. So people could say what they want about the Hawks. I knew we were getting to playoffs. What I didn't foresee, what I didn't know about last season, I didn't know that Trae Young was the problem. I didn't. I didn't. We, as a city, loved Trae Young, or loved, and we thought he could do no wrong. But the guys in the building, I guess they knew better, which they did. They got rid of him, sent him somewhere else, and we made it to the playoffs. We made it to the playoffs. I mean, did we lose a big piece? Maybe, but the discussion remains. Will Trey Young ever play defense? We don't know. And this is like a breakup. So, you look at the where are they now? It's like, how is the city of Atlanta doing versus how is Trey Young doing? Again, we got 2 dubs off on the NBA champions. We had a good draft. We had the Pelicans first round lottery pick coming in. And then, I think we're on a good track. We're on a good track. Let's see how Trey Young is doing. Let's see how Trey Young is doing. All right, so it doesn't look like he's doing very good. Why is he ripping a Brunson jersey? I don't know. What event is even this? Who is that guy in the back there? I don't even know what's going on. Like, where is he? What is he doing? So he's still trying to hold on to the F. Trey Young New York Knicks rivalry. He's taking the Knicks rivalry out of Atlanta into wherever he is. I think he was on the Wizards, right? He's grown out his beard. Still, he looks lost. He's like a little kid, show and tell. Like, hey guys, I stole his dad. I stole this. I can't talk. It's like, hey guys, I stole this jersey out of my dad's closet. You want to see something cool? I'm gonna rip it. What does he say on Twitter? Another day, another opportunity, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where Trey's going with this. Why is Jalen Brunson catching strays? I don't even think he was on the team that year when they played the Hawks. This just seems like a first class hater. I don't know, bro. Y'all didn't the Wizards didn't even make the playoffs. So he's got the buffs on though. Cool. Speaking of former Atlanta Hawks, where are they now? Um, I heard that the Detroit Pistons picked up John Collins. Some Pistons fans are happy about that. If you're an Atlanta Hawk fan, yeah, you know exactly what's going on. Congratulations, you have one of the softest power forwards in the league. Um, but let's get into the top stories here. Jared Allen interest raises questions about Onyeka Okongwu. So this is how we do it. We like to look at the source. Let's click on that. Jeff Teague reacts to Atlanta Hawks rumor. We'll take Jared Allen. Atlanta Hawks have made Jared Allen interest known to Cavaliers. What's going on in Cleveland? Like they got James Harden and all that. How do I feel about Jared Allen? Like I suppose, mm, mm, I'm I'm happy with Onyeka Okongwu. Like obviously Jared, what's his name? Jared Allen. He's a different tier of a player. He's an all star. So it's a potential level up for the position at the five, right? It'll be interesting to see what they could do. Maybe Jared Allen plays the five and Ayuka plays the four, or vice versa. But then we also did get Lou Dort, and we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But let's see. The Atlanta Hawks have made it clear that they are exploring every avenue to improve their roster this offseason, and one recent report may have revealed more about the organization's long term thinking than initially expected. According to Jake Fisher of the Stein Line, while the Cleveland Cavaliers continue to express interest in Jonathan Kuminga, I didn't know that. Um, Atlanta has shown their interest in center Jared Allen as part of a potential sign and trade framework. Fisher also noted that Cleveland has no interest in moving Allen, making a deal highly unlikely. Okay, so what does that mean? Clickbait. We just got clickbaited. A deal is highly unlikely. And that's one of the things that we have to know about the Atlanta Hawks basketball organization during the offseason. There's a lot of clickbait garbage. So guess what, guys? Onyeka Okongwu, he's here to stay. Um, let's go the latest on Jonathan Kuminga, right? I heard that Jonathan Kuminga has Victor Oladipo's old manager, and he's notoriously horrible. So we'll read this article and see if they talk about it. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of fluff in here. Am I gonna be? Let's skip to the good part. So speaking of Kaminga, yeah, there's. It's really animated. It's an animated article. He'll need help from Atlanta on a sign and trade to come anywhere close to last season's 22.5 million salary. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, we got Jonathan Kuminga mid-season from the Golden State Warriors. They could afford to pay him that, but given the circumstances and the way things played out, we had to pay him that because that's where we got him from, and that's what they agreed to. But now your deal's over. It's time to negotiate another one or let you walk. So latest indications we've received suggest that the Hawks are likely to be pretty choosy when it comes to sign and trade scenarios they're willing to accept. So, what a sign and trade scenario is means that they're going to sign him to a new deal and then trade him away to somewhere else. So it's like they're a proxy negotiating for a team that wants him. Kaminga, meanwhile, is said to be open to an Atlanta return on a short term deal. The Hawks, though, appear pretty deep at wing positions after their trade Sunday to acquire Lou Dort from Oklahoma City. So Kaminga, he's playing the wing power forward. Like, come on. Lou Dort, Jonathan Kaminga. Who do you pick? I pick Lou, right? I pick Lou. But if Kaminga is open to coming back on a short term deal, why not? Why not? I don't see anything wrong with that. That gives you depth on the bench. I like Kaminga coming off the bench to play the wing spot, replacing Dort and then whoever else we might have at the power forward position. I like the way that looks. I really do. Um, if our front or if I'm trying to say Lou Dort in front office, if our front office could be some sharks, we would find a way to keep both of them. I think that's doable. I don't think that's asking too much. 22 million, Jonathan. I think you need to come down a little bit, bro. I'd say you're somewhere in the range of 15 to 17 due to injuries and performance, right? Especially because you're looking for a short term deal as well. So I'm excited about the Lou Dort situation, but we ended up talking about Lou Dort while we were on the Jonathan Kaminga topic. But I say let's keep both. We need to get another piece at in the front court, I think. But yeah, look at all this. Look at all this crap about Jared Allen, and he's going to be in Cleveland next year. They have that man on a billboard. He's not going to get on a billboard if he comes to Atlanta. We've already got our billboard stars. Moving on. Moving on. We're going to talk about the Atlanta Dream. That's how you know it's the WNBA. I clicked and it's just a whole lot of pink. Before we get into it on the WNBA, let's shout out to, I know I'm late. Let's give a special shout out to Brittany Griner, right? Former Atlanta Dreamer. She got traded a while ago, honestly, many months ago. And then we brought Angel Reese in. That's just kind of the state of the Atlanta Dream. Um, we appreciate you for your time here, Brittany. Um, it was an honor to, host you. Especially when you were recovering and making a comeback from that whole Russia escapade. But I hope that you enjoy the rest of your career. I wish you nothing but the best. And welcome in Angel Reese. I think that Angel Reese is a great addition to the Atlanta Dream. She's a headliner, a young, talented WNBA headliner, and I think that's one thing that this basketball team could use. Especially with the social media presence and everything like that. Atlanta has turned into a social media hub, so I think she'll fit right in as far as culture goes. As far as hoops go, she's a great hooper. We've seen what she did at LSU. We saw what she did in Chicago. She's gritty. She's got an attitude. So I think it'll go well in Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta, Angel. We're glad to have you. Long overdue, but finally welcome. Yeah, I also saw her at the Barack Obama Center in Chicago. They did like a pickup game over there, and then you see, there's a lot of Angel Reese stuff going on. Atlanta Dream House coming to State Farm Arena to celebrate Barbie. Okay, I think that's like a, I don't know what that is. Let's click on it. Let's read it. Look, Angel Reese again. It looks like Angel Reese is going to be the face of the Atlanta Dream, and I'm okay with that. I think she's a down to earth girl. That's cool. Oh, we got a 1 minute video. Let's go ahead and watch it. Let's see. Let's see what Angel Reese had to say. All right. You got a couple of pictures for my baby's birthday. But okay. Shout out to Angel Reese. So it's a little bit more than just a Barbie like Barbie night at the State Farm Arena. Angel Reese is getting her own Barbie doll. So that's awesome. I think that's awesome. I'm gonna talk to my sister in law about that. Hopefully we can get my baby a Angel Reese Barbie doll. And I always love to see things like that. Um, Angel Reese is moving fast, I think. She's been in the league for a few years now, but it seems like just yesterday she was at LSU. But now she's on the Atlanta Dream, making money moves at the All Star game in Chicago. That's why she was at the Obama Center. Um, Shout out to Big Barry, Big Fofo. But yeah, she's making a lot of moves, a lot of business moves, sports moves. So that's a wonderful thing to see. Um, yeah, I think that's gonna cover it for the Atlanta Dream news. Now, obviously, we just had the World Cup end, and holy moly, I had no idea. So I guess soccer is going. I thought they would have had like a break or off season. Nope. Atlanta United is still going. They're still playing. Somehow they're 20 games in. Holy moly. Okay. And they are horrible. They're horrible. They're 3 wins, 3 draws, 11 losses. So that's unfortunate. But maybe they've got some players seeding because I know some were doing the World Cup. I'm still learning about soccer. I'm still learning how certain things go. I know the fundamentals of how it's played, but as far as like, especially when it comes to MLS, I'm still new. I follow the Premier League and I follow a little bit of Paris, a little bit of Spain, and then international friendlies. So as as we progress every week, we're gonna talk about soccer. We're gonna learn more about it. I play FC 26, so y'all be sure to drop y'all's gamer tags or EA accounts so I can play y'all. You could show me the game. We play that on stream too. But we're not going to spend too much time on Atlanta United right now. It doesn't look like too much is going on. We tied with Charlotte last Wednesday. Cool beans. Lost to Nashville. Awesome. Got mollywopped by New England. Great. Moving on. We're going to actually X out of that tab. Next up, we're going to talk about high school football. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark. So let's try to, you know, keep this at 45 minutes. But for those of y'all that don't know, if y'all are watching from across the country, high school football is really big in Georgia. Some will argue that it's one of the best football programs in the nation. Um, some people will argue maybe it's second to Texas or maybe it's second to California. But if you ask me, I'm going to be biased, yep. And I'm going to say state of Georgia has the best football programs in the nation, best football programs in the world. You look at Buford, you look at North Gwinnett, Norcross, Tucker, MLK. Who else? Grayson. Who else? Um, I could name them all day. or McEachern. Shoot. But those are just to name a few. So for those of y'all that don't know, the Corky Kell Classic, it's been going on for many, many years. I've been watching it on TV since I was a young person. They used to play it in the Georgia Dome. Now they're playing it in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And let's go ahead and click on it. So Corky Kell, Dave Hunter. It's the classic. Corky Kell was a former coach, and only certain schools can play in this. This is televised, and it's like it's for my football people. It's like a jamboree, except everybody plays once, and you just kind of go through it. So the only teams that are allowed to participate in this classic are teams that Corky Kell coached. Um, the Dave Hunter part, that's new. I'm not familiar with that part. We're gonna have to do some research on what that is. Maybe it's teams that Dave Hunter coached as well. But let's look at the schedule. And these are heavy hitting teams, teams that otherwise would not have played each other because they're not necessarily in the same conference. But we've got Grayson versus North Gwinnett. That's normally a heavy hitting game. That's Thursday, August 13th at 8 p.m. in Mercedes Benz. I missed one. South Gwinnett versus Lanier. That's at Mercedes Benz too. That's on Wednesday, August 12th at 5 p.m. I live right in the South Gwinnett district, so we're going to see a lot of people, you know, up and lively about it. That's down at the Benz, though. Then we've got Pebblebrook versus Clark Central, Wednesday, August 19th at Kell High School at 4:30. And then we've got another game at Blessed Trinity High School. My nephew used to go to that one. Oh, it's multiple games. Excuse me, guys. I can't read sometimes. Y'all ever seen them videos of them on IG of them people reading them index cards? Don't ever catch me on there. Um, I apologize. So, South on August 12th. Let's start over. Let's start fresh. August 12th, Wednesday, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 5 p.m. South Gwinnett versus Lanier. 8 p.m. Grayson versus North Gwinnett. On Thursday, August 13th, 5 p.m. Cambridge versus Brookwood. I'm always going to root for Gwinnett County in case anybody was ever confused. 8 p.m. we have Walton versus Roswell. So those are the four games that are taking place in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Um, that's that's where I knew the Corky Kell Classic to be. Games all weekend where the Falcons play in the Georgia Dome and Mercedes Benz. But it seems like they've extended it on Wednesday, August 19th. We've got Kell High School hosting two games. At 4:30, we have Pebblebrook versus Clark Central. At 7:30, we've got Kell versus McEachern. That should be a thumper. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then on Thursday, August 20th, we've got at Blessed Trinity High School. That's where my cousin just graduated from. Shout out to Lawrence Chester. He's going on to play college soccer. Um, at 4:30, there's Centennial versus Dunwoody, and then at 7:30, it's Decatur versus Blessed Trinity. That's a funny matchup. You've got Decatur on the east side going all the way to dang near Sandy Springs, playing them preppy boys at Blessed Trinity. That's gonna be one. I'll tell you what. I would love to watch that, and it's gonna be on TV, so I might be able to. I kind of would love to see that in person. That'd be interesting. Then on Friday, August 21st, at Georgia State's Center Park Stadium, you've got Hebron Christian, that's just down the road, versus Carver, Atlanta. And then at 5 p.m., you've got Parkview versus Coffee. I know Parkview, that's down the way. Never in my life have I heard of no coffee. Then at 8 p.m., we've got Houston County versus West Forsyth. Don't know nothing about no Houston County. Don't really rock with Forsyth County as a whole. But yeah, that's the Corky Kell and David Hunter Classic. That's the full schedule. So y'all be sure to tune in. We still got a ways away. We've got about a week or two before those games come up. So do your homework, figure out, which games you want to go to, do your research, see who's got the most five-star recruits, and then pull up, show your support. All right? Moving on. This is why we all pulled up. This is why I pulled up. Now it's time for the Atlanta Falcons. So, as a lot of y'all may know, today was the first day of uh, veterans reporting for camp, veteran training camp. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to address. I haven't done any Falcons content since what? Free agency. It was a rough season last year, and a lot happened. A lot of disappointment, a lot of movement, but I had to learn to give a lot of grace because there was a rumor circulating that Raheem Morris and his family were dealing with a miscarriage um, shortly before the season started, and then that was the storyline for the rest of the season. Now, if that was the case, shout out to the players and the media and just the entire building for keeping that, you know, and handling that in such a clean way. We don't really want to put that in public news. We don't want to scrutinize that. That's personal. We're talking about football. So the only thing I'll say about that is when it comes to that, if that did happen, if that was the case, beyond speculation, I would have wished that Raheem, did the professional thing and said, it's time for me to step away from football, um, and let somebody else take the reins. I think Jeff Ulbrich would have been a good interim head coach, and then we could have figured out where we could go from there. Because I don't know, man. It's like, but then it's like also where were we gonna go if things were whatever the case may be? Where were we gonna go with Darnell Mooney doing Darnell Mooney things and everything else in between? So again, that's all speculation. I heard it. I did my research. Um, I did enough research to the point where I felt like I needed to say something about it on stream just to address it briefly. But we're not going to go into Raheem's inbox. Hey, da da da. No, we're not going to scrutinize them on that. That's if that was the case, that's a painful thing. So that's just to make the fans aware of it if it's true, and then to move on. We're not going to dwell on that. Both parties, Raheem and the Falcons, are on to better things. Right? All right. So, as a lot of y'all already know, Kevin Stefanski is the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. We had a wonderful draft. We got new jerseys, revamped, and then Matt Ryan is now the president of football here. Rich McKay is gone. And also, unfortunately, Arthur Blank stepped down as CEO of the Atlanta Falcons. Arthur Blank, you were a great owner. You passed on the reins. You felt like it was time. You handled it with so much grace. Um, I'll tell you, by the way you've carried yourself and this organization, it's made me proud to be a Falcons fan for all these years. You know, I think Falcons fans have a special type of character because everybody that's still rocking right now after that We're not gonna say it, but everybody that's still rocking, we know these the real fans. Everybody that's still here, yeah, we some real fans. Ain't no Falcons bandwagon. Ain't none. There's gonna be one after this season. There sure is. But right now, right here today, look to your left, look to your right, look in the comments. Those are the real fans. Anybody that comes after today, after this season, we know it's a bandwagon because something special's coming. Something special's coming. I was doing another interview with the artist a couple weeks back, and I said the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. And you know what happened? Lightning struck as soon as I said that. And then I kept saying stuff, and then lightning kept striking. So I don't know. I don't know what that means, but yeah. But that being said, Kevin Stefanski, new head coach. We got a new offensive coordinator. I don't remember what his name is. I'm diving back into it with y'all. After 3 seasons of Arthur Smith and 2 seasons of DeJounte, I was following everything and pretty exhausted because we went into a soft rebuild, then we did like a hard rebuild, and it's just been every year's our year. They never like straight up said like, "Oh, we're rebuilding." It's like, "Hey, let's get to the playoffs. Let's get to the playoffs," which is cool because I think when you commit to the rebuild, that's when you get those 2-15, 3 and whatever, those horrible losing seasons. So chasing the playoffs at least put us. We still had a losing season, but we weren't at the bottom. We were always like mid. So I think that was a success on some of the past regimes after the Dan Quinn era. Uh, we were able to establish a baseline, 7 wins at least every season. Dan Quinn dropped us to our lowest at 4, but then 7 wins. We're never going to go winless. We're never going to go 1 win, 2 win. Now our baseline is 7. Okay? Now we're going to baby steps, you know? Now baseline should be playoffs. And then super. I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it again. The last thing I'm going to say about the S word is I think we have a really good chance to get one this year. That's the last thing I'm going to say about that until we're there. Until the game is over. I'm not going to say Falcons and until the game is over and it's won. I'm being superstitious. The lightning hit when I said it the first time. I witnessed it with my eyes. Unfortunately, I didn't save that stream, but hey, psh, this is the next best thing. That's enough of me rambling. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Where should we start? Where should we start? Um, Bad news before training camp. There's a lot of stuff to unpack here. Excuse me. Let's start here. Falcons camp spotlight. QB Jack Strand brings big arm to Atlanta. I think Jack Strand went to the University of Minnesota Moorhead. Yep, MSUM. Shout out to MSUM and the Dragons over there. I spent some time in North Dakota and the Fargo Moorhead area. Shout out to all them cats out there playing North Dakota football. This just goes to show you can go from NDSU and the Carson Wentz and play for the Philadelphia Eagles and every other team in the league. Or you can go from MSUM and be competing for a spot on the Falcons roster. Football, football gets played anywhere and everywhere, and you can make it from anywhere and everywhere. That's the type of game that we play. That's the type of game that we're a part of in this day and age. So if you're at one of them small schools, you're grinding it out, you need something to keep you going, just keep in mind that anything's possible and take your opportunities seriously. So let's go ahead and read this. This article comes from Matt Urban, Falcons Wire on Yahoo Sports. The Falcons will hold their first training camp practice on Wednesday. So that's tomorrow. So today, the players were reporting. There's some uncertainty at the quarterback position while fans await for an update on Michael Penix Jr. There has been an unconfirmed rumor that Tua Tagovailoa may be dealing with some type of injury. That's news to me. The Falcons will likely provide clarity on their quarterback competition when head coach Steven Kevin Steven Kavinsky. No, I'm joking. Uh, the Falcons will likely provide clarity on their quarterback competition when head coach Kevin Stefanski meets with reporters on Wednesday. For now, though, the mystery remains. So there's not too many crazy updates as far as the state of the Falcons for today. Those will come next week, but we're still going to unpack a couple things here and give you some content, right? Since practice starts tomorrow, we thought it would be a good time to revisit our training camp spotlight on undrafted free agent QB Jack Strand, the former MSUM Moorhead, well, MSUM, if you're from there, you know what I'm saying. Signal caller will need to outplay veteran Trevor Simeon for a roster spot, but there's a lot to like. Okay, so Jack Strand is competing with Trevor Simeon for a roster spot. You know they love Trevor Simeon in the Midwest, so that's a cool storyline. Uh, Midwest versus Mountain West QB battle for backup spot. It's going to be interesting though because with Tua and Michael being lefties, are these guys also lefties? Let's go. Let's go and look. Let's see. Is Jack Strand a lefty? Rookie. It's not going to tell me. No, Jack Strand is not a left handed quarterback. He's a right handed passer. Okay. So, with Tua and Michael Penix being left handed quarterbacks, this is Falcons fans. This is something that we have to acknowledge. This is very important. When we go back to the lies of what's that guy's name, the offensive coordinator that was here, I forgot his name, and I'm so happy I forgot his name. Let me Google it. That was egregious. His time here was horrible. Zach Robinson, aka Adolf Hitler. No, I'm joking. Not really, but um. So when we go back to the Zach Robinson lies, let's just clear the air, okay? Let me put a good background on because people are gonna soundbite this. People are gonna clip this. When we go back to the Zach Robinson lies, that dumpster fire. Let me just address a couple things. Last year, the last season, the Atlanta Falcons offense was worth over $500 million in contracts. That's $500 million. There is no reason why we should have been as bad as we were. Absolutely none. None. Circumstantially, a lot of things broke down. Darnell Mooney should not have been our number one receiver. And I believe Darnell Mooney threw a bunch of games because he wasn't getting the type of targets he wanted. His quarterback was Kirk Cousins. So he's dropping balls. He wants Kirk to throw him the ball. And what did we see when Kirk came back in? Now, all of a sudden, Darnell Mooney kind of remembered how to catch. He was battling against his identity. Darnell Mooney, all Darnell Mooney did was be Darnell Mooney last season. So goodbye and good riddance, right? But the real problem, the root of the problem came when Kirk Cousins went down in 2025. Zach Robinson was a first year offensive coordinator. Okay. He was not equipped. He was not at all equipped for anything that came. He needed to be led by a veteran head coach, which in Tampa Bay under Todd Bowles, he has the opportunity to flourish. Todd Bowles commands shit. He's not a hands off, cool guy like Raheem. That was never going to work. It might have worked if Zach Robinson had a veteran quarterback to help kind of show him the ropes. Like, hey, these are the ebbs and flows of the game. With you as an offensive coordinator, I'm going to make your job easy. It would have been great if Zach had a veteran like, oh, I don't know, Kirk Cousins. You see, that was the plan. Bring in a veteran quarterback and give our rookie offensive coordinator an easy job. But that all fell through because Kirk was injured and we botched it. So now, not only do you have a situation where the veteran has gone down and you as an offensive coordinator have to try to condense or simplify your playbook for a rookie, but on top of that, one of them was right-handed, the other one was left-handed. For my football people that know, and just for anybody in general, we know how drastically different left-handed versus right-handed is. It changes the mesh on how you hand the ball off. It changes what the announcer said in the games last year. It changes the spin on the ball, so receivers are catching different balls. It's changing the rollouts and the protections. Jake Matthews has been the blindside tackle for the Atlanta Falcons since he came in the league. But last year and part of the year before, he wasn't. That's shifted to Caleb McGarry and that goofball Elijah Wilkinson. Goodbye and good riddance to him too. So left-handed quarterback versus right-handed quarterback, totally different ball game, and you have to take those things into account. It's it's paramount. If you overlook that, that's like a whole aspect of your offense. Like that's like the hand that your quarterback throws with that could equate to like 45 to 50% of your offense because that helps to determine what kind of throws he can make on the run. That changes what hard throws are and what easy throws are for him. It changes the offensive line protection, like I just said. It changes the way he hands the ball off. A lot of things change when the hand of the quarterback changed. So we were in a very tough spot 2 years ago and last season. Now, 2 years ago, they made it work. They did it good. Last season, we knew Penix was the starter, but from what I saw, it was just lazy offensive coordinating. I think Penix could play under center. They just didn't. They didn't create a good scheme for him to do so. Everybody was ready for Kirk to play under center. Oh, because when you're under center, if you're right-handed, you drop back that way. When you're under center, if you're left-handed, you drop this way. So it's a whole different game, and I'm not gonna blame Michael Penix for any of that. There is a learning curve. He was a rookie. He tried his best. I'm sure everybody in the organization tried their best. Cool, whoop de whoop. But competent people would have said, okay, we have a left-hander. Let's go get a backup lefty, like what this team just did. We have a left-handed quarterback. We went and got another left-handed quarterback so that if the first guy goes down, the second guy doesn't have to change too much. Now, I would say we're bringing it back home now. When it comes to Trevor Simeon and Strand, those guys are righties. It's important to have right-handed quarterbacks for the scout team. So I don't foresee, knock on wood, I'm not even going to say it, but we're not going to, the right-handed guys are for the scout team. I'm not jinxing it. I'll be damned. We've struggled at quarterback for too long. I'm ready for the season with actual quarterbacks in our quarterback room. So that being said, we talked about the quarterback situation. There's a small battle. That article wasn't really big. That's one of those, hey, there's nothing to really talk about, so let's talk about something old. Shine some light on that. Let's see. In 2025, let's shine some more light on Jack Strand and shout out to MSUM once again. In 2025, he had 3,500 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. He also had 288 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. He almost had 50 touchdowns in one season. That's great, man. Those are Matt Ryan 2016 numbers. I love them. Minus the 288 rushing yards. I'm just talking about the passing stats there. But shout out to Matt. So let's go back. Let's see what else is going on in Falcons news. We're gonna watch some cool videos in a minute. DL ready to take. Okay, Atlanta Falcons D line ready to take over as leader with a bigger role in 2026. Great. I thought, okay, there's the bad news, but there it is. Let's see what's going on. How long is this video? How long is this video? I need to know. Let's skip this ad. It's 14 minutes. Can't do it. This is somebody else's thing. We're not gonna piggyback like that. Let's go back. Here we got Kyle Pitts. Shout out to Kyle. Let's see what's going on. I want to watch this video. All right, Kyle, you having fun. I love to see you having fun. You keeping your head up. You might be a Falcon for life. I love to see that. But let's see some good numbers. I'm not going on you, bro. I'm satisfied with your production. It's gradual build up. Those other years were throwaway, so I'm not mad at you. You kept yourself fresh. You preserved yourself. So it's time to go all out, all in. You should have fresh legs, and about 7 more years left on your career. You saved yourself. You saved yourself those unnecessary miles. You feel me? Yeah. So shout out to Kyle, man. Great dude. I've seen him around in the community. He pulled up to my job one day uh, to get something done. It was at my job. It was the building that my job was in because we shared buildings with other jobs. But yeah, cool, cool story. Let's get back into it. We'll stay on task. We're almost on an hour. Let's try to watch a couple videos. Let's see. We've got preparing the field. Let's not watch that. We've got a press conference, and then we've got an on the rise trailer. Everybody make sure that they're tuning into Falcons on the Rise. Shout out to our media team because they've improved. I've made comments about them in the past, but the media team has improved tenfold. It's a lot of stuff that goes into NFL organization, stuff that I have paid attention to. There's a new person leading the media team right now. I don't recall his name. I apologize, but shout out to everybody over there at Ticketmaster Studios and Flowery Branch, and just shout out to the whole organization. It was a pretty stand up organization to begin with for a long time, but we're just finding ways to take it to the next level. Even if we're talking about things like account executives and uh, sending out tickets, like shout out to the whole team, great team. And I want to specifically shout out my account executive. Let's see. One moment, please. I want to shout out to my account executive, Sarah Carver. If you need Falcons tickets, y'all hit her up. Go on Falcons website and find yourself an account executive. That's the best way to get some good tickets, right? They've got really good 4 game packages where you can get 300 level seats for $450 flat rate. That's where it starts at, and then you get 4 game tickets. I haven't seen a deal better than that in the NFL, and I'm gonna have to cash in on that. She sent me an email today saying like I'm gonna have to close your account out. I'm like, oh no, but you know how things go. You get busy, but I'm gonna have to follow up with her very soon here before the season starts. But with that, again, shout out to everybody in this organization. I'm proud to be a Falcons fans. Look at these wonderful new practice jerseys. And let me stop running my damn mouth and let's get into it. Yeah, I also make music, so you'll see like some music ads. There's new auto tune. Interesting. Is that D Lad? Ingratiate.
Brandon, is there a different feeling for you personally when you're coming off of a year like last year versus the year prior where you were trying to kind of work your way into that core group on defense?
You had mentioned kind of the larger role this year. How do you view your role? How do you view kind of where you're at in your career? What do you think makes a good training camp? Like for you, a month from now to kind of look back on this and say we had a really good month, we're in a good spot. What do you need to see? At what point in camp do you feel like you know what a team like what it kind of can be, and kind of how far it can reach? Like how high of a ceiling? Like how early on do you think you can tell in camp what a team can kind of be eventually?
we really don't know till the first game.
Well, I tell you what, I know.
Is
I know who we
sacks
got on
as
that
your
team.
number one goal. Did you spend time this offseason refining your pass rush anymore? Did you add anything to the toolbox?
Man, no, I stick to my routine, man. I do the same thing I did last year. I do a little bit more, take care of the body. My biggest thing is to make sure I play all the games. I don't want to miss no games this year. I want to stay healthy throughout the whole season.
Do you have to kind of take also Rook's trash talk from last year, made that part of your game as well? Because that's going to be like a little bit of a hole right now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna miss that for sure. But I got some of me that I'll bring out there for sure.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So more trash talk this year for Brandon Dorlus.
Of course, you see that. You see it for sure.
What are your training camp essentials?
My training camp essentials: a mattress topper, my memory foam pillow. You got to bring a toothbrush for sure, and a nice comfy blanket.
Love it.
Yes.
You know your roommates?
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know.
Is there anyone you're dreading getting?
Dreading to get?
Yeah. Is there anyone's like, oh no, not that guy?
Oh man. No, not that guy. No. I wouldn't mind anybody in the D line. I know it's gonna be some D line guys in there, but I don't mind whoever it is.
What if you're the guy that they're dreading?
I hope I'm not that guy, man. I know I'm not that guy for
Looking
sure.
at the sheet like, oh man, Brandon Dorlus.
Nah, I'm excited. I really don't know yet. I got my packet over there, so I'm gonna see after this.
It's excitement level here. Get real.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I mean, you're 19, long time, but I'm excited for it. It's an exciting time, new place. I'm just excited to get going.
What do you think around this time? What do you look for in a team that can be really good? What's important about the next handful of weeks out here, do you think?
Okay. Much respect to Nick Folk, 19 years in the league. Wonderful career. We're not going to sit through that. I apologize if anybody's offended. Nick, I'm sorry. Hit a couple game winners, and then we will watch your interview, okay? What's next? Let's go back here. I was really trying to tell y'all to make sure you tune into On the Rise. There's a trailer. So we're going to watch On the Rise. We're going to watch a couple Drake London videos real quick, and then we're going to close out.
Masking in Adobe Premiere has never been easy.
I also edit videos and shoot videos, so that's why I'm getting Adobe Premiere. So if y'all need videos edited, y'all need beats, y'all need anything music related or creative related, yeah, just let me know. WAVRNRSLLC@gmail.com. We have a whole team, so yeah.
Clear identity. There's a great quote: choose your identity or someone else will choose it for you.
You got to do hard things, and everything you want is on the other side of doing hard things.
New offense, new team, new coordinator, new regime in general.
It's basically drinking water through a fire hose.
Drake London, one of the best young receivers in the NFL, one of the faces of the Falcons franchise, has agreed to terms on a huge new deal.
Falcons and tight end Kyle Pitts have agreed to a 3-year extension.
They're going to surprise people this year. I could see them, jumping into the playoff fray next year. Atlanta certainly would be one of them.
The biggest piece coming out of Atlanta that everyone is talking about is the quarterback competition. And now the big question is, who is going to start
You see how that?
come September?
And I know the play is going to speak for itself.
You're either a competitor or you're not.
Obviously, it's going to be a lot of fun. This competition, I think competition breeds the best in Gaudy.
We want to figure out what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and what are areas that we can start working on now, so when they go into the season, we turn some of those weaknesses into strengths and make sure that the strengths that they do have, the reason they got drafted, the reason that they're here, they're able to maximize those and contribute to the roster. We're being smart, we're being aggressive, and we're callousing our roster.
about Drake London? It's Drake London. Drake London.
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix. Michael Penix. Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
That shit got me pumped. I'm excited. Ah! I don't know if my baby's sleeping. I can't be loud. But no, that was a good piece right there. Wonderful. Definitely has me excited for the season. We definitely have a wonderful group of guys. I didn't say before when Brandon Dorless was speaking, but yeah, that's turning out to be one of my favorite pieces on the D line, one of my favorite players on this team. I can relate with the anime. I've got a pretty cool edit of Brandon and Rook. They're doing the fusion. But yeah, I'm really excited about this team. I've grown to love these guys. Pause, right? But yeah, really looking forward to this season.
What if
Really,
you could make a song using only your voice? Let's start with the drums.
really motivational, really inspirational. I can't wait to see what these guys do. Let's see.
After you were drafted, we asked for the fans that may not know a ton about you, what kind of player can they expect on game days? Do you remember what you said at all?
Fearless.
London catches it. There's another one.
Somebody wants to work. Somebody wants to get W's.
That's
and at
hard.
the end of the day, I think we want Super Bowls. If you're not getting Super Bowls, then what are you doing?
So now, as you're entering your 5th season, what kind of player are you?
I'm the same player.
Bombing, end zone, caught, touchdown, Drake London.
I will always be the same player.
Sails it, Drake London, caught, touchdown, Atlanta. Drake London.
Fearless dude gonna go out there, and I don't care who steps to the plate. I gotta figure it out myself, but for damn sure, I'm gonna go try to win. So I think the same player is still here, same mindset. And again, if you're not chasing Super Bowls, what are you doing?
How about Drake London? It's Drake London. Drake London.
He has the most games with 100-plus yards and a touchdown in the NFL.
Keeping the main thing is that you're doing your job the best.
Drake London, he absolutely has balled the last 2 years. Remember this past year, I think he had maybe 900 some odd yards in just 12 games. Year before that, he got well over 1,000 yards. So Drake London, the last 2 years has proven he has absolutely arrived.
And I think that's what my tight unit circle has instilled in me and kept pushing forward for it.
How beautiful. Want to get a picture? I love you. Oh, yeah. You ain't gonna do it?
Oh, you didn't do it right.
I know, I mixed it up.
They always ask, like, what do you do, or what do you play this game for? What's one of the reasons? And one of the reasons is to be legendary, to be remembered.
Oh, my goodness. Well, short of the touchdown, this had shades of Julio Jones climbing over the dock of Luke Kuechly back in the day.
I just want at least my last name to live on as long as possibly can. So whether that's in history books here, whatever it might be, I want it to live on for as long as I can. So that's taking the right steps in the right direction, and all I can do is work harder and try to be at that number 1 spot.
London, they caught it. Another Atlanta touchdown for Drake London. There's London breaking free 20, 15, 10, 5 at the horn. My goodness, what a play by London. Quick throw, end zone, caught. Drake London touchdown. My goodness. Rips it, London, stretches the ball across. That's a touchdown for Atlanta. My goodness. Cuts it loose for London. Deep flag is thrown, and Drake makes a whale of a catch at the 24 of Washington. Fake looks, throws, end zone. Drake London, touchdown Atlanta. Unbelievable.
I think I represent Atlanta well. It's definitely a part of me. You know, I claim Cali really, really hard, but Atlanta solely is my second home and will forever be my second home. I would never have thought that Atlanta would be my second home, or the place that gave me all these blessings and opportunities to be the person I am today and live the life that I am able to live today. It's really, really crazy, and I can't thank all y'all enough, and just Atlanta in general for accepting me as their own. Hello? get that, please? I didn't get that. I said, yeah. Yeah.
Here's how I'd speedrun a brand new YouTube channel in one afternoon.
All right. Yeah, man. Drake London. He's high, 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 high on my list of jerseys to buy. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, but we're gonna get into it. Well, we're gonna get out of it soon, but watch this. Um, yeah, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's see what that looks like. NFLshop.com. Okay, guys. So, as a lot of y'all know, the Atlanta Falcons have new jerseys. I've only ever had a throwback Mitchell and Ness Deion Sanders jersey. I never wore it. I hung it up on my wall and I gave it to my brother for his birthday. That being said, I even got my little baby a Michael Vick jersey so that she could wear one on Sundays. I need to get my lady a jersey, even though I don't know if she really a Falcons fan, but hey. I've been watching Falcons games with my daughter since she came out the womb. That's been something that we do together. So I know I hope she hasn't forgotten, right? She sits with me on Sunday and we watch the game together. I really do hope she hasn't forgotten because it's her first off season. But that being said, I need to get a jersey so I can go out here and rep appropriately, right? So I'm gonna need y'all's help. I need help trying to figure out which jersey to get. So first up, we've got the white Drake London's jersey, or we could go red Bijan Robinson's jersey. I'm not saying these names. We got the white Drake London jersey. Then we got the red Bijan Robinson jersey, and I'm gonna show them all to you. Or the next options are, I think I would go Black Pitts throwback, or Black Penix throwback. Um, but yeah, um, those are my four options. I'm not gonna lie. After watching that Drake London video, I'm really hype about that, and I wouldn't mind putting that number 5 on my back in the white and red. But I'm gonna let y'all decide. Um, type in the comments, type in the chat, wherever you see this. Type whose jersey we should get first. That's who I'm gonna get first. And then I'm gonna eventually try to cross them all off the list. I'll tell you what, guys, this team is really something special. I actually like all the players on this team. There's like one that I gotta call out, maybe two, but we'll do that in the season. It's a clean slate for everybody. So I hope that all of our guys can go out here and execute. I'm excited to see how much better everybody got during the off season after the tribulations of last season. Really excited for what the Falcons can put together this year. I know they're not gonna let me down. That doesn't even have to be a discussion. All right. So that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. This is going to be the first of many ATL sports updates. We're going to have special guests come on. We're going to dive deep on certain things. But for right now, this is where we at. Football is my strong suit. So that's why I spend a lot of time talking about football. We're getting ready for the season. We're going to bring our basketball experts in. We're going to bring our baseball experts in. It's not just going to be me. This is a community. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Be sure to follow for more content. Like the video so I know I did a good job, so the algorithm knows I did a good job. Leave a comment. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us who your favorite players are. What's your favorite team? What's your favorite sport? Join the community. This is inclusive. But nah, thank y'all for watching. We out of here.